In 1990, I took a course to become a licensed massage therapist. And I had to learn all the names of the bones and the muscles and where the kidneys are so you don't hurt them when you're digging into someone's back with your elbow and all that stuff. And I also learned about something that I'd never heard of before called fascia. And fascia turns out is really important. It's like the connective tissue that holds muscles and tendons and bones together. And a lot of the problems we have with our musculoskeletal system are caused by adhesions in fascia, the fascia getting too tight, the fascia getting injured and then forming scar tissue. And why didn't I hear about this when I was a kid? Why are so few people talking about fascia until pretty recently? And the answer is when the anatomists were doing their autopsies, they would remove this like white cobwebby stuff to get to the good stuff, the interesting stuff. They'd pull it apart and they go, oh, yeah, so there's the muscle, there's the vena cava, there's the heart, there's the humerus bone. And the fascia, this white stuff that turns out to be so crucial, not just as a protective layer, as a connective layer, but also in terms of nutrients and also in terms of intelligence, in terms of information going back and forth, was totally overlooked because it was in the way and we just had to get it out of the way to get to the good stuff. And I've been coaching for over 25 years now, and I realized that's something that I started doing, a mistake that I started doing when I was coaching was getting something out of the way quickly so we could get to the good stuff. But the thing I was getting out of the way turned out to be one of the most important things of all. And that is helping clients figure out what really matters most to them. Because if you just say, okay, I want to grow this business, or I want to get a promotion, or whatever it is the person wants to achieve, it's because of a problem that they've had. It's a response to some issue, some problem, some unhappiness with the status quo. And as a result, you can help them get that, but it may not be the thing that they really want. So now they're living life without that problem, but they've got some other problem. And you can very easily get into the I'll be happy when syndrome, right? I'll be happy when I get a promotion. You get the promotion, you got more responsibility, you got more stress. It's work that you're not so interested in doing with people you're not so interested in doing it with. And you might have been better off without the promotion. So what I have elevated to a key aspect of my practice is really helping people get clear on what matters most to them. And it's not as simple as simply asking what matters most, because for most people, what matters most in the moment is different from what will matter most over a year or 5 years, or the legacy they want to lead in their life, or the moment-to-moment experience of being. So I want to get this promotion, and what am I willing to do to get it? Might be the sorts of things that if I look back on my life and say, that really wasn't worth it. That wasn't the way I wanted to be. That wasn't the person I wanted to be. That wasn't the people I wanted to be with. That wasn't the things I wanted to do. And yeah, I got the promotion, but at the cost of years or decades of my life. So the first thing I do with my coaching clients is we have a whole process to really slow down and get very curious about what matters most to them. And I look at kind of two basic aspects of that. The first is external in the world. So outcomes and goals. What are the outcomes and goals over the next year, 5 years, 10 years that matter most to you? If you want to look, say, in 10 years and look back at a life that you're really happy with, what has been accomplished? But the second is internal, and it's in the moment, and it's values. And values generally end with an ly, right? They're adverbs. Lovingly, mindfully, courageously, thoughtfully, humorously, right? How do you want to be moment to moment? Because in the end, our life is made up of moments. And if the marathon is a miserable thing, I ran one of the worst marathons I've ever run. It was the Leadville Marathon, and it was started at 9,000 feet, Mosquito Pass over 13,000 feet. I was wearing the wrong shoes. I was not prepared. I was having hallucinations due to altitude sickness. I got lost. I was so late that the aid stations were all closed by the time I got to them. A friend of mine had to come and find me. somebody came with a car looking for me because everything had closed, and I actually made it in. I got in 3 minutes before the marathon ended, so I was DFL, dead fucking last, and not DNF, did not finish. But I crossed the finish line, and I was the last person there, so people were cheering for me. But that was 8.5 hours of misery, and crossing the finish line didn't make up for it. And so I really want to work with my clients on what is the 26.2 miles going to be like, and not just the finish line you want to cross. So as you move through your day and your week and your month and your year and your life, it's a great question to ask, what matters most to me? What really turns me on? What really lights me up? What do I really want to accomplish? And who do I really want to be while I'm doing it? I'm Dr. Howie Jacobson, askhowie.com. Have a great day.